Okay, I think we are ready to go, Casey.
Okay, thank you. Thank everybody for attending. Like I was saying, we just had a managers roundtable, and it sounded like everybody had great fairs this past summer, and we look forward to many more of those. So we'll kick it off with JL and Patrick, and get an update from them.
Thanks, Casey. I'll just start, and I'm in transit. I wanted to tell the group we've got two bills started that deal with our issue of getting full lottery funding. We've got the House Small Business and Economic Recovery Committee introducing it as a committee bill at the behest of Democrat legislators Janelle Bynum and John Lively. And then we have a parallel bill being introduced by House Republican Anna Scharf, who has been a key player in the Polk County Fair and just a key supporter of ours. So we're going to have two bills in the pipeline. I do expect that during the December legislative days, we are going to get some preliminary time to talk about our concept. So I just wanted people to know that our bill is underway and that we've got it in the process, and we're getting started on the advocacy early. In addition, Representative Scharf has also introduced a bill that would funnel infrastructure and emergency type infrastructure monies to county fairgrounds. It's a different kind of concept that opens up different avenues of funding for us. It is I would say a new concept and something I will put in front of you when we get it, but it gives us another opportunity to look for capital infrastructure in a way that we get those types of grants. And I think it's something that I would look forward to partnering with her on. And it's just another opportunity to get additional funding for county fairgrounds. And so I think that that's exciting news to have multiple bills in the hopper at this stage. I would finally add that I know that part of our commission is to get funding for state fairgrounds, and that is part of our ask as we make our rounds with legislators. So I basically see our strategy as twofold. One, getting the full lottery funding, which we got two bills in the stream for, and then assisting the state fairgrounds with some of its funding needs, which will be a complementary and parallel ask that we move alongside. So last thing I was going to mention, I think that we're going to have an opportunity with a new administration, regardless of who wins, to make a fresh case for fairgrounds funding as it comes from the lottery, and to remove that basically that $1.8 million annual cap. And so we will have a new opportunity to make that case to whoever comes in the governor's office. Obviously, I think we'll have a little friendlier reception if the winner is Betsy or Christine. But even if Tina prevails, I do think it does open up a new way of doing things, and at least a new opportunity to make arguments to get full lottery funding or increased lottery funding. So I'm really excited about the opportunities on the horizon for us, and we'll just we'll get plugged in where we need to, and we'll have new opportunities to make those cases. Anyways, I'm excited. Thank you.
Good deal. So I heard from one of my commissioners that this was the lottery cap was also discussed at one of the AOC meetings, and it was very well received. So I'm assuming that we're going to have AOC's support on this. Yeah.
I would expect so.
Patrick?
Thanks, Casey. I talked a little bit about this in the fair managers meeting, but for those that weren't there, we, in addition to the bills that we're working on, hope to submit capital projects again to the legislature, either in the hopes that they will renew the $10 million fund that they gave us or more, or individual projects as we submit them. We've heard a few revenue forecasts that say that there could be extra funds available to the legislature. However, with the possible downtick in the economy, that remains kind of unknown. But we will proceed with making our ask for capital projects. So the timeline for that will be the legislature comes out with their capital projects form sometime in November or December. So once we get that, we'll be able to send that out to everybody to have them fill out their projects and then submit those. Ideally, we'll have those due by the end of the year, maybe sometime in early January. And then our goal would be to get either our capital facilities task force or legislative committee or a combination of both together to prioritize those projects, similar to what we did about a year and a half ago, and then submit those to the legislature with a full list of priorities so that we can say, hey, we've all gotten together and we have this list. Again, we hope you just fund a big pot so that you can give us discretionary funding. But if not, here are the projects that we have prioritized. At our meeting next month in November at AOC, which I'll share my screen to just go over that real quick as the AOC report as well. Our meeting at AOC is November 16th, next month in Eugene. The morning we have dedicated for legislative discussion. So JL and I will chat with you then about our bills a little bit more in depth. By then we'll have a landscape of who's coming into the Capitol and the governor's office. So we'll be able to report on that. And then we hope to have kind of a discussion among the group on how we want to do the scoring criteria for the capital projects. As you may recall, the last round when we did this, we just kind of took criteria real quick from AOC's courthouse construction task force, realizing that not all of it applied to our process. So I'd like us to spend some time dialing down on what you all, because this should be a peer review process, what you all would like to use for your scoring criteria and ranking the projects. And I hope to have Steve Mileham from LRS Architects there to help us through that process as well, and provide any insights on master planning and other capital planning, so that we can start getting in the mindset of what projects we should be submitting to the legislature. We'll do a board meeting as usual. At noon, we'll network and do a lunch with all the other AOC conference attendees and the commissioners and do a little elbow rubbing there. And then the afternoon will be just for fair managers to do a roundtable. We've got plenty of time blocked off for that to discuss any issues. I thought folks last year found that to be fairly helpful and robust discussion. And then in the evening, we again joined with the AOC folks for a reception. And for those staying that night, if you are, usually that Wednesday night, different counties organize county dinners. Those are organized individually by each county. So check with your county folks on that. For those who don't have county dinners, we can probably gather up fair managers or other folks together and go out as a group as well. So that's the one-day agenda for November 16th. Register online. The link is there at AOC's website. If you are coming on Wednesday in person and eating the meals, you'll want to register for the one-day registration rate for Wednesday, which is $235 for the next week and a half or so. If you're going to attend virtually or just attending the meeting without eating any of the meals or receptions or anything like that, you do not need to register. You can just show up, and then those attending virtually can we'll get you a Zoom link. If you plan on attending the full conference, if there's other agenda items that you see that you want to take part in, you can absolutely sign up for additional time as well, and conference. Okay, thank you.
Somebody's not on mute there, so please check your mute buttons there, guys. Okay, on to partner organizations, IAFE. Who's our representative for IAFE? That's coming up pretty dang quick, so.
Yeah, IAFE is coming
Okay.
up in, hey Casey. IAFE will be coming up in a few weeks in Indianapolis. Early registration has expired, but still the opportunity to register in advance for those that are interested in joining that convention. A lot of programming through Indiana State Fair. And similar to us, they've kind of reimagined how their convention will be in order to provide additional opportunities. You'll see a lot of educational opportunities, not just on site at that convention, but off site because of the network that Indiana State Fair has, getting the chance to go to the 500 Speedway and where the Pacers play in Indiana Children's Museum. A lot of really cool things we were able to put together, and hopefully that'll continue as that convention moves into Salt Lake, a little closer to our backyard in 2023. And then 2024 convention information will be coming out at that time. But good news, I believe it'll be a little closer to home for those of us on the West Coast in 23 and 24, which will be a nice move.
Good, yeah, thank you. I think they're gonna get a lot more participation from folks in the West when it's a little closer, so. Western Fairs. We have a representative for Western Fairs.
Hi, guys, it's Kim.
Hey, Kim.
So Western Fairs Convention is January 15th through the 18th, and you can register online now. It's in Reno. It's always a good event to go to. I think it's IAFE we're going to as well, but WFA is closer to home this year. So if you're going to go to a convention, please check out WFA. Thank you.
And that registration is open now, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, good deal. So. Cami or Leah, do you have any updates on Oregon Fairs Foundation? Okay,
No, I don't have an update.
okay, thank you. So. AOC, Patrick?
I don't have anything to add other than the conference, but I did want to show you all two quick things. In the packet for the minutes, we've structured them a little bit differently. We have a YouTube link to the recording. So we'll be able to have folks either watch the full meeting, and then when you go down here to the various sections, you can click on that and that'll go straight to that YouTube link with the section that's being discussed right there. So easy way for folks to see the full discussion. So we'll keep our minutes abbreviated. And then we have this new tool called Otter. For those of you who are familiar with it, it's an AI note-taking tool that show you what that looks like here. It's basically a transcribing tool. So we have it up and running now. You saw we were live streaming. So it's recording everything that we're saying, and then afterwards it'll kind of match up voices to speakers, and I can go in and identify various speakers. So then basically we'll have a whole transcription of the meeting. A lot easier for us to do minutes this way, just to kind of go through and get the highlights of what folks are saying, instead of having to watch it all and figure out, who's saying what. It's of course a machine, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's not bad. So those of you who have to take notes for your various meetings, this is a tool we've just started using, and I would recommend it. That's it for me. Thanks.
Good, thank you. Oregon Festivals and Events Association. No representative there. Huh? Okay, we'll go on to area reports. Area 1, which is Gary Wirtz or John Lewis. Gary?
Okay, so probably most of you don't know it, but John Lewis is no longer with Clatsop County Fair. So Jason Brim is his name, is the acting manager there. And tomorrow is our Area 1 meeting at Polk County, so we're going to meet him. He's coming to that, and so we're going to be able to meet him and bring him into the fold, so to speak. So we'll that's all I've got for right now.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Area 2, Rachel Bevins.
Morning.
Hi.
So we haven't had a chance to meet since the state fair or October meeting got canceled. So we'll be meeting next week. But as far as I know, everyone's doing well. Some staffing changes and staffing hirings at a number of our fairgrounds. But other than that, I think we're all plugging away. So I'll have more for you in November.
Okay. Area 3, Mike McCabe. I'm not sure that I see Mike on here. He was in a meeting last night, said he was going to be on here. So no, we don't have an alternative for that yet. So area 4, Ann Jones.
Sorry, guys, I don't have any updates. I need to get us a meeting scheduled with everyone so we can chat about how our year went and how we're all doing right now.
Okay, thank you. Tamara. Area 5.
Yeah, hi everyone. No, we haven't actually had a meeting. I've had some conversations with our coastal counties, but everyone seems to be doing good and super busy. So I will follow up and see if I can get some more information together.
Area 6, I think it's Mindy, correct? Yeah. Mindy? She was on our managers meeting, so Mindy, you out there? Okay, hearing none, we'll move by.
Casey,
Sorry,
Mindy is
I-
there.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Walked away.
Oh, can't ever walk
Yeah.
away.
Double doing, I'm sure everybody knows how that goes. So what did you ask me? I am sorry. No, I can't hear him.
Area 6 update.
Oh, so we did have an area meeting, but it was only Baker and I. So everybody's moving along with their projects, though. I do know that. Harney County and I are getting our job descriptions reviewed or working on towards that. So, and that's about it in our neck of the woods. So preparing for 2023.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll see
Hey,
you guys
Mindy.
next month.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mindy, this is Kathy in LeGrand. Can you get me added to your distribution list on that? I don't know anything about an area meeting.
So as of right now, you are not in my
Oh,
area.
perfect. Okay,
I will get you in contact with your area person.
awesome. Thank you, Mindy.
You're welcome.
Carol, service members. Long time no hear.
Part of the reason is we were out working.
Yeah, I know.
No, it has been a long summer. I think everybody's trying to regroup, looking forward to next year, already starting to work with a lot of our fairs. And I know that a lot of the service members are doing exactly the same thing. So, it was a great summer. The heat got us in some places, but other than that, boy, it just proved that through all the trouble and all the problems, you can run great fairs, and our fairs top to bottom were fantastic. So that's the only thing that I have to report, and we'll be, as we get closer to convention, we'll certainly circle back. I know that there was some other discussions about some things by other service members. So when we have more to report, we will.
Okay, good deal. Committee reports. So we've heard from Jail on the legislative piece. Jeff, bylaws. I know that there's some changes afoot.
Yeah, there'll be some changes or reviews to the bylaws and some potential changes that'll be presented at the annual convention. Patrick, I know, has worked on getting some of those prepared and out. No updates for the group as of yet, but we'll make sure we have those. Hopefully by AOC, we can start sharing. Oh, there we go. Some concepts and then have those to the group for convention this year.
I would add that these are very preliminary and just kind of based on conversations and ideas folks have had. So you hopefully got an email from me, basically this email that's on the screen here, asking for feedback in addition to any other bylaws changes that you have. So we can put together our bylaws committee that Jeff will chair and take a look at all of these changes and make those recommendations to the convention when we vote. Our goal would be to try to have all this flushed out and not have any strong opposition or whatever before we arrive in February. So if you all have any additions or changes or opinions of any of this, we would ask that you submit those to me and I can make sure that the committee gets them. But just to highlight, we are looking to move the state fair from an area and create their own separate board position. We've had various committees come in and out. So our committees are in the bylaws. So we'd like the president or the board to be able to create or disband committees as needed instead of having the bylaws designate committees. Our annual business meeting, as we saw with COVID, we could not have it at the annual convention or the fairgrounds. So we're going to make the language in our bylaws a little flexible for meetings, various meetings like the business meeting, and allowing virtual voting, which we currently do not do in our bylaws, but I think we've been doing it anyways. And then the one idea, which is probably the bigger change, is matching our area numbers with AOC's districts. So that was an idea that just a couple folks talked about, but it would increase our areas from 6 to 8 and change up the geography a little bit. The reason for that would be so AOC holds district meetings throughout the year and has a district representative. The goal would be to kind of have that OFA area director work a little bit more closely with that AOC district representative, and that way their region matches. Again, all of this is very preliminary, and we look forward to getting any feedback that you may have. Thank you.
Okay, good deal. Awards, Tina, is that still you?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's in charge of awards.
Yeah, I don't see Bart on here, so I'm not really sure. Patrick, you shed any light on that? It's been Tina forever, I know.
We do have some folks on the committee, but I don't think we have a chairperson. So I think we'll need to flush that out a little bit. I will post award nomination forms on the website by November 1st. We're hoping to have both convention registration and awards and showcase applications all up by November 1st, so folks can start applying for all of that. And then we'll get our awards committee together and probably volunteer Tina again to be the chair so she can help lead us again.
Okay. Cami Racing.
I do not have anything to report other than we have a new Oregon Racing director or executive director now. So it's a new position for her. Obviously, Connie Wynn was in charge of she was the director of parimutuel and audits. So she's very well versed in it. So that's good. We do not have an October meeting. We will resume again in November.
Will we have a meeting at our annual conference?
Yes. I would like to request that we have a meeting at our annual conference.
Okay, reports, information and technology. And I'm at a loss to, I know it was Brian from Deschutes for a long time, but.
Well, it's Brian from Clackamas County now.
Oh, there you go. Well, I knew it was Brian. So there we go. Brian, how are you?
Hey, doing well. With the transition over here, I have not had a lot of time to get with Patrick and keep that technology committee moving forward, but we're starting to get settled in here, so I expect to start doing that soon.
Okay, well, thank you. Convention, I'm not sure we have a representative. I know there was a lot of questions about convention this year. Patrick?
I can maybe give a quick update. The convention committee met at the State Fair September 1st. We pretty much locked down the agenda. So we have a good agenda. Michael Bradley, Bart is on.
Bart's on. I didn't see you, Bart. Sorry about that.
I'll let you take over, Bart.
No, carry on, Patrick.
So the committee rounded down topics and schedule. Basically, we are coming in on Sunday afternoon doing area meetings and then having a pretty good block of time for various discussions among, we're calling them peer group discussions. So we'll have one for vendor coordinators, we'll have one for fair managers, we'll have one for facility operations folks, one for event staff, and various folks are kind of putting together those groups. So kind of a training slash roundtable slash little bit of everything that we hope folks can send people to. On Monday, we'll kick it off with Michael Bradley, who was one of our keynote speakers earlier this year on future of fairs. Folks really liked his talk and wanted to kind of see him come back again. We'll have some legislative activity. The Capitol is still halfway closed because of construction, but we will be able to have appointments at the Capitol. The convention dates, thanks Tamara, February 5th through the 7th. So the first Sunday through Wednesday there in February. Monday afternoon, we'll have some time for legislative appointments. We hope to have a training on ORS 565. We'll have some county commissioners there also in coordination with AOC, and then we'll do our legislative dinner that evening. And then Tuesday will be awards, luncheon, general sessions, our president's dinner, auction, and all at the state fairgrounds. And then we'll be done on Tuesday evening. So no board meetings or other sessions on Wednesday. So we will be kicking off registration November 1st. So stay tuned for more information about that.
Okay, thank you. Cami, financial report. Treasurer's
Oh,
report. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Do we not have an update on the budget committee?
Oh,
Thanks, Kimmy. So I have some information that I need to get to the budget committee, and we need to convene the budget committee now that we've kind of finalized our convention plans. And the convention pretty much takes up the big part of our budget in terms of the most fluctuation. So budget committee will meet. In the meantime, we've been operating on a kind of status quo operations budget. So Cammie, you and I will get together along with other folks who volunteered for the budget committee. I'd like to do that in the next before the AOC meeting so that we can approve the budget before then. And oh, here you are, Cammie. Hi.
Sorry, you know how that goes. Somebody at the office at the counter. So it's like, yeah. And Patrick, can you put up the budget, or can you put up the balance sheet so everybody can see that? So the balance sheet is the only thing that I have seen to date. So as far as like a P&L or anything like that, we have not had a lot of activity other than dues. So this is where we currently sit. The only question that I had, Patrick, is when we do these, I would like to be able to just let everybody know again what our fiscal year is. So anything that we do, we can just have it stated at the top so that everybody understands that we're starting a new, budget cycle. And then you can see, like, even in here where our rollover was from our previous year. This information won't really change. And our P&L, we have to have a budget in order to do a comparison. So the balance sheet is as it stands, with a total in our bank accounts of $61,246.16. And the only question that I had was, have we made all of our payments out to the foundation, young professionals from last year? Was everything taken care of as far as funds as a pass through?
Yes, for the foundation, we collected $3,500 the night of the auction. Those have been distributed to the foundation. Foundation is working on collecting some folks who did not pay that evening. So there have been some folks who have been pending their payments. And so John McCulley from the foundation is working on tracking those folks down. And we are working to, I would say, modernize the foundation a little bit in terms of having their own credit card processing, like a Square account. So what we'll be able to do at our future conventions, as well as any donations that are collected through the year, is folks will be able to donate directly to the foundation, and that goes right into their bank account instead of us being kind of a pass through. So then there won't be, any delay or anything like that. So when we collect auction money at the in February, we'll have kind of two stations, one for OFA auction items and one for Fairs Foundation paddle raise. And we'll be able to, essentially run people's cards twice. So that those funds go directly to where they should go. So I'm working on John with that. We're going to add that to our website, and folks will be able to make donations directly through our website as well.
So hopefully we'll be able to have a decision on that before we set our budget.
On the Fairs Foundation.
Yeah, so it won't be a pass through. So it just won't be a line item on here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have to report. Thank you, Patrick.
okay, thank you. So looking up, we have some time still. Eric Marcuse, what's going on in the world of entertainers? Give us a.
Well, we're deep in the trenches right now, trying to get everybody to work together on routing. Routing obviously is everybody in the Northwest. I always proclaim that the Northwest is the toughest part of the country to book, but the best place to put on shows. And I say that just to encourage everybody on this call to work together. Routing, whether it's grounds acts, whether it's whether it's concerts, routing obviously is the key. So just wrapped up the International Entertainment Buyers Convention here in Nashville this last weekend. And, once again shows that, this is that time of year where there's a lot of moving parts with tours, and routing obviously is paramount to that. So just want to encourage everybody to be as proactive as possible. We are now into October, and October through really February is sort of the key time for booking. And early is good. Patience and persistence still remain to be sort of my mantra, because it's important to be as proactive as possible and understand that it's a big puzzle out there. But I really just want to encourage transparency and communication among fairs and service members as much as possible. So look forward to seeing you all. We've got Washington Fairs Convention coming up this weekend, and looking forward to seeing as many of you that'll be in Indianapolis as possible. I know we're throwing a bit of a showcase bash on the Monday of IAFE at the Tin Roof. So folks will be getting some invites to that, and hope to see you all there. And just want to encourage everybody to be as communicative as possible as we're getting into buying season for another great year, hopefully.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
You bet.
So we've heard from Carol, but I see Joe started on too. Joe, what's going on with our service members and yourself?
Mainly the only thing really with service members that I can think of right now is they're curious about the merger with the other organization, and apparently that's been tabled for now. So that's about all.
Okay, well. Okay, other business, we have really none. So we're way ahead of schedule. Anybody need any extra time to discuss anything, Vent?
I do have one more question, if I might.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm curious about the auction. I had something in the text there asking if bids for the auction were a tax write-off. So I'm curious if that's the case. I'd like to encourage service members to bid more for that reason.
Okay. I'd like to encourage everybody to bring at least 2 auction items. Again, this year, I usually make some phone calls when we get closer, but if everybody could do that, it certainly, it enhances our event and enhances the donations that do come in. So thank you.
Do we know if that is a tax write-off if I were to buy an item?
Tammy?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, as we tell everybody, you need to talk to your tax accountant professional, but typically it's not a write-off if you receive goods or services or a product. So anything that's above and beyond a fair market value, you should be able to write off. But
okay, I see. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll chime in on that one. Some depending on how your business is organized, sometimes you can and sometimes you cannot deduct it as a business expense. You can always deduct it as a personal charitable contribution. And as Cami said, if you're buying an auction item, only the amount that's above the market value of the item is a donation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, if nobody has anything else, we'll call it a wrap and the meeting will be adjourned. Thank you, guys.
thank you, Casey.
Bye-bye.